Hi you guys, it's Yoram. Today is another book review, so please don't forget to comment down below, of course, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. So the book we will be talking about today is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I believe it's Matt Haig. Hopefully that's right, but I've been done with this book since December, and I'm just not getting the book review out to you guys. Oops, sorry. Well, on my Insta story, I said a little something along the lines of this might be the first video, not first video, but this might be the first book I give a 10 out of 10 to. I will go ahead and say that I give this book right here a 10 out of 10. It's the first 10 out of 10 I've given a book since I've started back on my journey of rediscovering reading and just rediscovering my love for books and reading. So this is my first 10 out of 10. It flowed really well. The plot was amazing. Another reason I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 is because everything flows so well. I don't have any constructive criticism to give. You know, usually I have a lot to say and I'm like, oh, they could have did this better. The plot could have been better. The characters could have been better. The climax, the conclusion, the end could have been way better. But you guys, this is the first book I don't have any major criticism for. I don't have anything horrible or really bad or really anything to say as far as criticism because I loved it. Hands down, there wasn't anything that I would have changed. One thing that I really loved about this book is it mainly focused on the main character. There weren't too many characters in this book, which is I think another part of why I truly enjoyed, because there weren't that many to familiarize myself with. So I think that's why I really love this book as well. There weren't many characters, and I would say that's like my top reasoning or just something that I just absolutely loved about this book. Because usually books have a lot of supporting characters. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that actually makes things even more interesting. It also allows for there to be a lot of more possibilities as far as the plot and just things that happen in the story. So more characters can bring out more possibilities. However, it is a bit much for me when there's like 10 different characters I have to familiarize myself with. I end up most times just kind of ignoring the character because it's just like I don't want to have to go all the way back and figure out who exactly they are. And also I feel like it's just like I want to focus on the main character and what all they have going on. The main character in this story was Nora Seed, and I found it funny that her name is Nora because another book I read, I don't remember which one, you guys, I'm not good remembering a lot of times. What is going on with authors in naming the main character Nora? I feel that the name Nora is kind of popular because this book was mainly about her and the struggles and regrets that she felt throughout her life. I feel that I read this book at a great time because I was feeling really down in the dumps. I related a lot to her. I feel that at the moment when I chose to read this book was a really great moment because I felt like her. I could relate heavily. Not the part of her wanting to leave the world, not that part, but this book uplifted me a lot, and I feel that I learned quite a bit. I've learned a little bit from this book, even though it's fiction. The approaches and the way the things Miss Elm would say, I feel like it really helped me on a lot of different aspects of my life. She felt that she wasn't needed in the world anymore. She had a lot of regrets, a lot of just emotions that she was dealing with. If you guys hear, if you guys hear something, you guys know. If you watch me, you know I like to flip the pages. I love the sound of flipping pages, and I love the new book smell as well. But if you guys hear something, that's me flipping the pages because it's like aesthetically pleasing to me, the sound, and it's like I have to do something with my hand. I just felt that she didn't have any purpose anymore. I'm sure you guys can educate a guess on what she did. She didn't kill off her sickly. She didn't perish automatically. She used a different type of method, but we're not going to really get into that. So after she attempted, she kind of went into, I would say it's a coma, a little momentary coma. Should I go into the backstory of her life? It was just her and her brother. Her and her brother weren't very close. They didn't keep in touch very much. Her and her brother weren't speaking. She was working at a music shop selling pianos and instruments, and on the side giving piano lessons to this child. She just felt she didn't have much purpose. So on the day that she decided that she no longer wanted to be in the world for good, she actually lost her job. Her boss, he told her, like, we don't need you here. You know, you're more well needed. You have a lot of purpose. You're still young. You shouldn't be stuck here. You know, you should be making use of your youth. And him saying you like should experiment, go out, do this, you know, you still have a lot of purpose, a lot of time to just experiment with a whole bunch of stuff. You shouldn't be here. So he fired her. And she was like, no, don't do this. And he fired her. Okay. And then on that same day, the parent whose child she was giving piano lessons to, she said that she didn't think her son or his schedule was too jam-packed and he could no longer fit piano lessons into his schedule. So she was like, we don't need you anymore. And she was like, wait, but he has such a great passion and he's really talented. He really, you know, but she was like, we no longer need piano lessons. And her dog, not dog, child, ooh. And then her cat died. I think it was Voltaire, but Volts for short. Her cat died, you guys. And I think that was like the cherry on top for her. She was like, I don't want to be here anymore. So her cat died and she was like, no, that's it. After her suicide attempt, she went into what I would feel is a coma, and she momentarily went to the silent library. So the silent library contained books, all types of books of possibilities and outcomes. One specific book, the book of regrets, all the regrets she had in life. The person that was there to help her like navigate and go into these different worlds and kind of like not undo these regrets, but just get a different aspect on them, was her old librarian, Mrs. Elm. They had her dad died. She was in the library talking to Miss Elm playing chess. That was one of their little activities, and she always looked to Miss Elm as I wouldn't say a mother figure, but she was there for her in hard times. And so she was just a important figure in her life and a memorable figure. When she went to the silent library, there was Miss Elm. She kind of felt like a guardian angel or just a guardian helping her navigate through the books. So ultimately she got to a point where she realized her life wasn't that bad and that her life was the best outcome. Her current life, even though she wasn't like in it living, but she was like in the coma, you know, in silent library. But she finally came to the outcome after going through all of the lies and the regrets and living these lavish lives and being an Olympian swimmer like her dad wanted her to be, and the other life being a singer in a band. After going through all of the lives, after going through pretty much all her regrets, her brother was alive, her friend was alive, and she still had a lot of purpose and she still had a lot to do, you know? So it wasn't all that bad. She realized that there was still a lot of life to live and that there were great aspects and there were great parts of her life. She couldn't see it then because of this despair that she was feeling, so she attempted, but after going through all of that and seeing that, oh, this happened, you know, not everything can be perfect, essentially. In each life, there was not a disadvantage, but there was pros and cons in each life or in each regret. She realized that not everything can be perfect. The silent library started falling apart because she came to the realization that she wanted to live again. She did not want to die. She did not want to die. She wanted to live because there were great aspects of her life and there was still a lot to do. And although it wasn't 100% perfect and 100% like she wanted it to be, there were more pros in the life that she currently lived than cons. So the silent library started breaking down, and the last life that she lived a pretty good life. She actually wanted to stay there. Miss Elm said that if she found a life that was 100% perfect and she was happy with and content with, then she wouldn't fizz back out and come to the silent library. But the last life she lived, she actually really liked it. It was a perfect life. She had a child, which was weird, but she got used to it. She had a husband. She had a degree. She had a job. A fire started. All the books were in flames except for one book. And she told her, you have to find that one book and you have to write in it. It's going to be empty and you have to write. She wrote, I am alive. But yeah, I love this book. It was amazing. I would reread it forever. This is the book I'm keeping. Usually at the end, I'm like, I don't know if I should keep, I might get rid of this book. I am keeping this book. I love it, even though it's not hardcover. I love me some hardcover. I love aesthetically pleasing things, and hardcover books to me are aesthetically pleasing, very much so. But this is not, I find that the books that I absolutely adore are not hardcover. I just realized that two of my favorite books that I own right now are not hardcover, and that's kind of a hard thing to come to terms with because I love hardcover books. They're so aesthetic and they're easier to like hold open and stuff. I 100% recommend to everyone. I will say though, this book isn't like a thriller or anything like that, but I feel it's not boring. I was reading this book every day. It was very interesting. Now let's get on to my current read. So my current January read is this book here. I told you guys, I don't know, I told you guys a while ago that I would finish this book because it's not, or not even finish, but start, because this is not my book. This is not my book, okay? This is Woman Thou Art Loosed, and it's Healing the Wounds of the Past, and it's by T.D. Jakes. So far, I'm really liking it. I've been trying to, this year, a goal of mine is to just really prioritize God and getting closer to Him, and just including God in everything, because I don't include Him in every single thing, and I should. It's centered around God's Word and women. So I really love it. I'm currently on chapter, let me look. I haven't made it that far. Currently on chapter 5, and I said I wanted to be done with this book by the end of January, but I need to figure out what book I'm gonna read in February before that. I'm most likely going to be done with this book probably like the first week of um February, as opposed to the absolute last day of January. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. And also, February is a shorter month, so I don't think I'll be able to even finish a full book. It depends on what book it is, of course, but I don't believe I'll be able to finish a full book in February. Maybe I should be more optimistic and be like, yeah, I'm gonna finish a whole book in February, but I don't even know what book I'm gonna read afterwards after that. So, can you guys believe that? The Silent Library was, I had a screenshot of that book in my phone for probably about a year, and now I finally have it and read it, and I love it. But yeah, that's all for this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and turn on the post notification bell because it notifies you guys whenever I post a new video. I love you all. God loves you. I will see you guys in my next video. 안녕, 사지엠.